Orders have come in for an emergency sortie. A major air engagement is taking place as we speak between Belka and the Allied forces near the border, in the B-7R airspace, which Belka is committed to defend at all costs. B-7R, commonly known as the Round Table, has long been a symbol of Belka's political, military, and industrial might. However, at noon today, along with its lightning-quick commencement of Operation Battle Axe, the Allied forces officially announced the permanent abrogation of its non-aggression treaty at the Assembly of Nations, and simultaneously attacked B-7R with a massive fighter squadron. This mission may be our chance to finally end the Belkan War once and for all. I wish you luck.
Air Force can do. Damn, the sky is too crowded. Time to get fired up, boys. I missed. for? While you're up here fighting for peace, tons of blood is being shed on the ground. Some peace, kid. And I'm here to put an end to that. You think you can stop bloodshed by shedding more blood? Flying with all those ideals swimming around in your head is gonna get you killed.
Garm Team, multiple craft approaching. Something's wrong. Stay alert.
Target is in firing range. SCHNEE 1 to all units. Release your missiles. SCHNEE 4 to SCHNEE 1. Target confirmed on the radar. It's him.
They've got a lock. Break.
Stay on guard. Those guys can fire long-range missiles. This one is fast. His flying is unpredictable. You've got to fly faster.
Enemy radar blips are fading. I have a feeling the radar's been jammed.
That pilot's unbelievable. He did all this with those limited contacts. Another aircraft? Push on it now. Demon of Bastio. So that pilot is the Demon Lord? Jamming. Radar response dropping.
There's an escort craft with ECMs that's interfering with the radar.
This is our turf, and we'll fly how we please. Belkan jammer aircraft is down. I can see everything. Go to Fox 2.
Target hit.
Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on radar. Let the SCHNEE team deal with him.
Radar lock. Bandits in gun range.
Fox 2.
Missile launched.
Don't do anything reckless. You'll only distract the SCHNEE squadron. The front is retreating. They're fast. Follow them. This will be your final lesson. Roger, boss. Follow me.
Garm 1, take out the reinforcements.
Go to Fox 2. Get out there. The rules will protect you. Long-range missile approaching. Break! Phantom jets. It's the Silver Eagle. They really did come back. One of our planes is down. Awaiting your orders, boss. All planes stay focused and fly as usual. He's fighting clean. I'll show him he's only digging his own grave. Another aircraft? Push on it now. Demon of Bastio. So that pilot is the Demon Lord? Brief ahead. Be on the lookout and climb to higher altitude.
Missile warning. Approaching gun range. Garm 1, missile evaded.
They're watching each other's positions. I better not divert from the team. It didn't hit. Go to Fox 2.
Approaching. Something's wrong. Stay alert.
Schwartz leader to all units. The escaping craft is headed this way. It's Hookavine. Don't let your guard down. Another one's coming. That plane. Is that the vulture? There's an annoying fly in the enemy. Alright, change of plans. We'll deal with the escaped craft later. Guess they've come to pick on the dead again. There they are, the Mercenary Dream Team. Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on radar. That Hookavine was flying real strange. I wonder why. Let's go, hunt him down. This is the worst kind of support we can hope for. Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on radar.
Missile evaded.
Roger, ready to roll.
Bandits in gun range. Shack on the target. Locked on. Approaching gun range. Garm 1, missile evaded. Radar lock. Bandits in gun range.
I missed. Those mercenaries smell of money and death. They're nothing but vultures, scavenging for profit through the blood of others. I missed. Fox 2! Fox 2! There's two of them that stand out from the rest. Target the leader.
About half the Belkan fighters have been shot down. You can win this.
Another aircraft? Who shot it down? Demon of Lucio! So that pilot is the Demon Lord? All planes, we don't have time to go game hunting out here. Feeling a bit scared? Afraid? That's just death lurking around. What the hell happened?
Locked on.
Watch out, the enemy's tracking you on radar.
Approaching gun range. Missed the target. Missed. Shack on the target.
Watch out, the enemy's locked on to you.
All targets within combat airspace are down. Operation complete.
Yo, buddy. You still alive?
We were victorious in the B-7R engagement. The round table is finally toppled. According to our reports, the squadron led by that enemy ace in the Foxhound was the one designated to intercept and destroy fleeing aircraft. Thanks to you, our force's morale is skyrocketing.
My pulse raced at the astounding accomplishments of the mercenary known as Demon Lord. I forgot about my job and read everything I had on hand. Around the time Demon Lord received his nickname, South Belka showed signs of weariness regarding the war. Because the region was set up as a defense line to protect the birthplace of Belka in the north, the people's dissatisfaction had reached a climax. The cities declared themselves demilitarized and peacefully surrendered to the Allied forces. Unable to establish a defensive position, the Belkan army kept retreating to the north. The end of the war was fast approaching. I was given an opportunity to interview the former aces of the Belkan Air Force. Back then, they were the masters of the sky, and they had also known him. So I crossed the border to follow his trail. I wanted to capture the war and the Demon Lord from their point of view, to capture the voices of those who were there. Bernard Schmidt, a man with the eyes of an owl. Garm Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 10th Air Division, 8th Tactical Fighter Squadron. Fighting with distinguished service on the battlefield, he earned the title of Ace with his uncanny ability to adapt quickly to the flow of battle.
I had a bad feeling while I was flying towards the round table. Why were they having problems down in 2 mercenaries? I figured it was just temporary chaos and it'd be over by the time I got there. Pilots of the Belkan Air Force are true professionals, but when I saw the situation, I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought maybe my IFF was malfunctioning. There were still 2 enemies on the radar. Everyone else in my squadron had the same reaction. This is really happening. Every now and then, guys like that appear on a battlefield. Someone special, you know? I squinted my eyes and confirmed the situation. Checked the terrain, air currents, his plane, his maneuvers, and his remaining ammo. I figured I could do it. I knew what I was getting into, but he still outmaneuvered me beyond my expectation.
Rot Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 2nd Air Division, 52nd Tactical Fighter Squadron. DETLEF FLEISHER, also known as the Red Swallow. With his skill and demeanor, he was practically a poster boy for the armed forces. Today, he is a professor of history at the University of Dinsmark.
Back then, I was bursting with pride. I wanted to lead us to victory, for Belka's honor. Staying where it was nice and warm wouldn't accomplish anything. My flight's mission was to maintain air superiority in Area B-7R, an essential area that we couldn't allow to be violated. That day, when I heard the order from HQ for reinforcements, I became angry. The station force was in chaos because of just 2 mercenaries. There was no way the mighty Belkan Air Force could lose to mere mercenaries. My pride was shot, and the round table was defiled. What went wrong? Whatever it may be, the fact remains I was forced to walk a different path in life than the one I had envisioned.
Indigo Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 7th Air Division, 51st Tactical Fighter Squadron. DIMITRI HEINREICH, an ace whose precision and grace in flying earned him the title of Blue Heron. Today, he has his hands full with the family business.
Well, that day, right before I deployed, my airspace assignment was changed. Initially, my squadron was assigned to the stable Eastern Front. That was changed to Area B7R, the round table where casualties were recorded at a fearsome pace. It's also the place where I met him. It was just two planes, him and an Eagle. And yet our lead force didn't stand a chance against them. I could tell he was good, and it was going to be bad for us. But there was something else I noticed. He hesitated. A vulnerability that can be exploited. I was certain I would win. The pilot was still young. He had yet to master the rules of combat. But in the end, I was shot down.
Gelb Team is number 2, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 5th Air Division, 23rd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Rainer Altman. He flew the skies of Directus during the capital's liberation, and he's still there to this day.
I met him above this very sky. I can still hear the sound of the missile alerts from that day. I received an order to fly to Directus on my way back from an intercept mission on the southern defense line. The order itself wasn't unusual. We kept being deployed from one mission to the next without receiving even the basic maintenance. But the situation was the same all around. We were late reaching the operational space. The station squadrons had already retreated, and warning bells were going off in the city. And the people were looking up to his plane, high above the sky. It felt like he could see right through me. He was always one step ahead of me. He matched every combat maneuver I made until I used up every trick in the book.
SCHNEE Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 22nd Air Division, 4th Tactical Fighter Squadron, ERICH HILLENBERAND. He never had great ambitions. All he ever hoped for was to make a living as a regular pilot. Today he works as a flight instructor for civilian pilots.
The instant he shot me, I pulled the lever. I barely managed to escape from my plane as it burst into flames. After drifting from the blast, I landed below the round table. It was a wide-open, barren wasteland. How long would I have to wait for a rescue party? Radio interference within the round table was fierce. The odds of a distress signal actually reaching anyone was low. I was at a loss for what to do. Anyway, I'd really gone out with a bang this time. I took that as a sign it was time for me to retire. But just then, I heard a roaring overhead. It was his plane. I was jealous of his calm flying form. Rather than wait for the rescue team, I began to walk toward the nearest base. I was driven by desire to get back up there and fight him again. Of course, it did take me 3 days to get there.
Silver Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 51st Air Division, 126th Tactical Fighter Squadron, Dietrich Kellerman. He was once the top ace at Belka and a fiery instructor at the Air Force Academy. In 1995, the Belkan Air Force sent him to the front lines to bolster troop morale.
He was good. From what I'd heard about him, I thought he was still just a young mercenary. But he matured since then. He still wasn't perfect, but I could see he had come a long way towards understanding the rules of combat. What's important on the battlefield is to let go of hate, to survive, and to adhere to the rules you've set for yourself. These are the rules I've taught my students. And when I saw him, I could tell my time was done. A new generation had inherited the sky. There was no more need for an old soldier like me.
This man was head of the command group and was known as the Vulture. Schwartz Team Commander, Dominik Zubov, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 13th Night Fighter Air Division, 6th Tactical Fighter Squadron. He fled after the final battle in order to avoid prosecution for various war crimes. He is still on the run and being hunted as an escaped killer.
Sorry about the accommodations. Goes with the business. I'm not active during the day. Back then, I was a shadow assassin, an escapee killer. Given the order, I'd even shoot down my own comrades. I received an order to take down deserting craft on that day. It was a typical assignment. But something unexpected happened. My target was no new recruit, but a top ace of the Belkan Air Force.
And he just had to go and run straight into the chaos at the round table.
The man was sharp, just like the rumors. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was that the mercenary team of Solo Wing and him were there. Thanks to them, I lost my target. I figured the least I could do was take them down in return. Of course, that was where my luck ran out.
Every time I flew with him, his skill stood out. He was unstoppable. He would ascertain the situation in an instant and change the tide of battle. He was born for combat. It was no wonder they called him a demon lord. That said, it was hell trying to keep up with him. Before long, everyone had taken notice of him. More and more would show up to watch him go off on sortie. Mercenaries or maintenance crew, it didn't matter. People wanted to burn his image to their memories. Hell, they weren't the only ones.